Hey there, today I'm going to teach you how to draw Kirito from Sword Art Online. So let's start with the eyes. We're going to start on the right side here. On the inside of the eye, we're going to do an arch all the way across to the outside of the eye. So starting here, we'll do a smooth curve out to the outside. Now we want to go in and thicken that up, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to taper it. So drawing another line on the outside of it that gets a little bit thicker as it gets to the outside. And from here I'm just going to draw a line straight across. So we can go in and color that in black. Now let's go on the inside here. I'm going to do a slight overlap, and I'm going to come down in an angle with the front of the eye. And again, I'm just going to thicken that up on the side that connects with that thicker line on top. On the outside here, on the inside edge, I'm just going to curve down and just curve it inwards. And I'm going to go in a little bit and taper that, but not all the way to the end, but just enough to give it a little bit of thickness. Now if I imagine this line coming down, I want to imagine the bottom of the eye right here. So I'm going to draw a straight line across. This is just to indicate the bottom of the pupil. So the pupil is sort of oblong, kind of like the shape of a grape. So from this point, I'm going to go all the way up to where that point connects here. So coming in like so. You can do a little bit of overlap, just so you can show a little bit of the bottom of the eyelid. Then from here, I'm going to go the opposite side, this way. Now in the center here, I'm going to draw a circle, a small circle, and color that in black. And then when I go into the color phase, his eyes are quite dark, so I'm just going to do a slightly darker tint than black, or lighter tint than black. And up here, I'm going to draw another circle with a highlight. I'm just going to leave it like that. Let's go to the other side here and draw the exact same thing, but flipped over. So this can get a little tricky because I'm not left-handed. So here, I'll start on the outside, just making sure that's at the same height, and come up to where it would be on the same height here. So go ahead and draw that curve. Alright, that's not too bad. And again, I'm going to thicken up the outside edge, and again go in and taper that out. And because I'm coloring this in black, I can always go in and just correct my lines if I didn't get it right. Now again, let's go inside here and do a little overlap, and just draw a line coming down towards the center of the face. And again, I'm going to thicken that up a little bit. Just go into the outside here, and again I'm going to draw a curve that goes to the bottom, just like I did here, maybe a little bit longer. And then make that a little bit thicker, taper it out on the outside. And I'll find the bottom edge of the eye, so right here, right about here, draw a line straight across. And then again, drawing the pupils. So very long ovals. I'm going to draw the center of the eye, the black dot, maybe a little bit bigger to match the other side. And then I'll draw the highlight on the left side. So you want the highlights on the same side. So the light's coming this way, you want the highlights to be on the top left. Okay, now let's locate the center of the face. His nose is basically a small line. So right about here, I'm going to just draw a little line, just like that. If you want, you can go in a little bit thicker on the top, to get smaller on the bottom. And now for the mouth, I'm just going to eyeball and say, okay, well, the mouth is right about here. In a lot of the drawings that I've seen on Kirito, the mouth isn't a straight line across. There's an actual gap in the center, but just for the sake of this drawing, I'm just going to draw it straight across. So right about here, I'm just going to draw a straight line across. Now before I draw on the chin, I'm going to want to probably draw on the hair, and that'll sort of show me where the sides of the cheeks will go in towards the chin. So let's go up here again and draw on the eyebrows. So the eyebrows are basically angles that go out. So located just above the eye, right about here, I'm going to draw an angled line that goes up. I'm going to draw from the center of the nose, I'm going to sort of angle a line aimed right at that nose tip, and then come down a bit, and then draw sort of a tapered line like that. So it looks like sort of like a check mark. And I'm going to go in and color that in black. Let's go up on this side and do the same thing. So a line towards the nose, and then I'm going to angle a line up, and then make it tapered towards that center. And color that in. Now he's got a bit of a double eyelid, so right about here, I'm just going to draw a line angled down, and up here, just above that eyelid, I'm going to draw a line angled across. Let's do the same thing on this side. Across, and a line coming down slightly. Okay, now let's get into the hair. So he's got some big bangs that come down across the face. So right above this eye, I'm going to locate the top peak where the hair doesn't cross. So right about here, I'm going to put a dot. I'm going to come down with a curve right into that eyebrow, and then I curve back up. So you can see it's sort of like a big sort of wedge. And then from here, I'm going to start doing an overlap. So from this point, I'm going to come down to pretty much close to the nose, like that. And now I'm going to change direction and go up this way across that eyebrow and kind of feather that line out. And here you can sort of draw in some extra hair there. So up here, I'm going to draw a line going down and going back up. So he's got some jagged hair inside these big blocks of hair. So again, let's do an overlap here. Come down towards that eye. And then curve up. Now all this hair is essentially just overlapping strands of hair. So again, here I'm going to come down across that eye. Now I can sort of do an overlap here where I go up here, come down towards the side of the face, and from this point I'm just going to curve with the contour of his head going that way. Again, I can go up here, draw a line down, and come up. Then here I can go out and curve around. Okay, now before I get any further, I'm going to go to the other side and just make sure I balance out the head. So from this point, I'm going to want to come down over that eyebrow and then back up again. Here I'm going to come down towards that eye. Now I'm going to do an overlap. So up here, I'm going to overlap that and kind of cross the face, kind of like so, and come up. Here I'm going to do an overlap again, come down and come up. Now you can see I'm sort of getting a little bit too long here compared to this side, so I'm going to boost up the side of the hair up here and not get too low. So right about there, and come up, around here, and then going up. Now I can sort of locate the top of the head. So how high do I want to go with this head? So probably here, because it looks like I'm running out of space on the camera. So let's put a point right about here. From that center point, I'm going to draw a strand of hair sticking out. Now, from this point, I want to curve and try to connect to an area around here, and same with this side. But the way I can cheat this without trying to match exactly there is come across, kind of stop, and now I can sort of draw the hair flare coming out, and then finish that off like that. Let's do the same for this side. So coming out, I'm trying to match the same roundness as I did on the right side, or left side, sorry. Come up. Now I can kind of come in and try to match that up. If I don't get it right, I can always just do some hair layers like that. Draw some lines in, like so. Okay, so we'll stop there for now. Let's draw on the rest of the face. So he's got a very pointy chin. So right about here, I'm going to draw a dot. From that point, I want to draw straight angles going out, up into the cheeks. So let's start on the right side. So going out, and right about here is where it starts to curve out to the side of the head. So it's pretty narrow. So what I want to look at is the side of the face compared to the distance to the eye. So it's quite close. So from here, it kind of comes in like this. And I'll curve and round that out just to match that line. Let's do the same on this side. So right about here, it goes straight. So I'm going to go straight like so. I kind of came in a little bit too much. That's okay. I'll curve that up and out to the side of the head. And then for the ears, essentially it's just an angled line, kind of comes in and goes up. Let's do the same thing on this side. Angled line, and kind of goes up. Now, that was a big mistake. Sorry about that. Let's get into the neck area. So two lines coming straight down. So run right underneath this eye, here, and one underneath this one here. Now before I get into the rest of it, I got this big collar that comes around his head. So let's start up around the bottom of the ear and curve out like so. Come down a little bit and I'll do the exact same curve. And I'm going to connect those 2 points with a straight line. Do the same thing on this side. So curve, come up a little bit, curve, and connect it with a straight line. Now he's got some detail around that collar, so what you have to do is basically double it up. Make it twice as thick, all the way around. Just like so. Now from here, I want to draw the inside part of the collar. So coming in a little bit here, I'm going to curve in towards the center of the body, and I'll do the same on this side, like this. Now I can go in and draw in the shoulders. It gets tucked in behind that collar. And from this point, I'm going to come in a little bit from the tip of the collar and curve in towards that line. And this side, I'm going to do the opposite direction, going in the opposite way, going this way. Now let's draw in some collarbone. So here, right about here, I'm going to go straight across on both sides. Basically just round out to draw in the collarbone. And he's got a V-neck, so I'll put a point in the center of his body, and draw a curve going up on one side, curve going up on the other side. Now, he's got this big strap that sits on his chest. This sort of overlaps everything, so I'm going to have to draw this thing in first before I draw the rest. So let's start with the top. Basic circle. From here, I want to double thicken it up. I'm going to go, there's 3 of them, so there's 3, I'm going to sort of space out 3 of these, so the other one I'll put right about here, same size, and then I'll draw that circle in the center, and then the third one right about here, so I'll draw a circle, and then a smaller circle inside. Now there goes to a point that comes in towards each other, so if I imagine these 3 points connecting towards the middle, I'll locate the top point. This line, top point. This line, top point. And from here, I'm just going to draw 2 lines flaring out and then come in towards each other, just past that circle. Again, this one, I'll do the same thing. 2 lines going out and then towards that center. Again, 2 lines flaring out and again, going towards that center, like so, and then connecting these with a straight line. That's essentially it. Now let's get into the strap. So from this point is where the strap goes. So this would actually go up and curve underneath that collar, like that. And I'll make it double thick, like so. And then this one here goes across the body. I'm not going to draw this entire body, so I'll just draw a little bit of it. So let's draw across like so. Now with this collar, I can just go straight down. You kind of imagine this line going behind here. Same sort of thing here, and I'll draw a little bit of trim on the inside of the jacket. Now from here, I just want to draw on the shoulder, so right about here I will draw a curve going out and then straight down on the arms. Here I'll do the same thing, so line going out, coming down a little bit, because I'm going to draw that little metal plate that's on the shoulder here. So in order to do that, I'm going to draw an upward curve, leaving a gap there, and then a point going towards the center of his body like this. So 2 lines. I'm going to replicate that curve on the bottom and then curve this and connect it. From here, I'm going to draw some perspective. So connecting that line to there, I'm going to draw a line extending out from those 3 points and then connecting the dots. So from here to here, here to here. And then I just have to draw in 3 little circles for rivets. And then now this arm can get extended all the way down. Now from here, from this point in the shoulder, I'm just going to draw a simple curve on this side as well. Again, I'm not drawing the whole body, so just a little bit of detail there. Over here, I'm just going to draw a front pocket. So a line across, 2 lines down on either side, and a line across the bottom for a rectangle. And then I'll make it double thick, just like so. And along the chest or the shoulder here, it's got 2 lines coming down this side here. Now imagine this getting tucked in underneath on this side as well. And then the last thing is the sword. So I'm just going to draw a little indication of a sword on this side. So let's draw the handle part going up on one side, rounding out and going across. I'm going to make that double thick as well. Here I'm going to draw a line going up and then across into the handle. So the handle has got to be pretty much going straight up this way, so I'll try to draw a straight line going up. Now, if I go up here, I'm going to draw a curve. This point has to follow the same thickness as the other side. So I'm going to imagine this line coming down, goes behind that hairpiece, kind of continues down this way, like so. And then from this point, I'm going to do a line out, go in on both sides, and then round the top out. Now along this handle, I'm just going to draw in a series of curves, just to show a little bit of that wrap going across. Now in the coloring phase, I'm going to have to fix that up, because that actually doesn't really make me that happy, so I'm going to go in and clean that up. But other than that, it's slim this arm down a bit more. Other than that, there we have it. There is Kirito from Sword Art Online. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Please give it a like, and we'll see you again soon.